the Fanatic Brackets Season 4, Episode 2. My name is Nick. I'm your host. With me, as always, is my co-host, Joel.
Yo,
Today, we are joined by a second-time guest appearance. He was on it last year. Please welcome back Enigma. Enigma, how are you? How's everything?
Hey, my man, how you guys doing? Thank you for having me again, year two on your podcast. Last year's topic was fun. This one, I'm really looking forward to it.
Exactly. The same here. Another Champions one you're doing again. I know this was a different one we haven't done yet, but what was did you have a reason why you decided to do this one, the greatest WWE Tag Team Champions from 2010 and on?
So, personal favorite, I have loved tag team wrestling. I think no secret because my favorite tag team of all time is the Hardy Boys. But in 2010s, a lot of people don't really talk about tag team wrestling of like that era. When I want to say tag team wrestling kind of carried through the 2010s as like we did for the United States, that I think like the big US title talk was John Cena.
Yeah.
But when you look at like the 2010s tag team division, tag team title reigns, you're not just like gonna say like, oh, the New Day held it down. You're gonna say like, the New Day, the Usos, the Bar, the Revival, and so many other tag teams.
100%. I totally agree with that. This is a very interesting one. Great conversation to look forward to. But before we even get to the bracket, for anyone listening or watching that has not seen an episode of the show before, Enigma, Joel, and I will go matchup by matchup, pretty much giving our thoughts on who was the better tag team champion between the two participants. Whichever participant gets 2 or 3 votes between the 3 of us, move on to the next round until we get to the finals. And we're obviously going to give our reasons why we chose that tag team. And yeah, so without being out the way, let's get right into the bracket. Starting with the first match, we have the Hardys, their tag team title reign, going against the Wyatt Six. Enigma, because you're our guest, we're going to start off with you. Which tag team title reign or reigns was better between these two from the 2010s?
From the 2010s, I want to say the Hardy Boys. They won the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. Was it 34?
33, I think.
33.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 33, iconic. The moment alone, and then if you look at it from a outside WWE feat, they basically won it after just losing the ROH tag titles in a ladder match to the Young Bucks, and they come to WrestleMania in another ladder match, winning the tag titles, and then the SmackDown tag title win, short-lived, but they arguably did beat one of the greatest tag teams in WWE in the Usos. And the Hardys have one of my favorite matches of 2016, 2017 with the Bar, where Cesaro messed up his teeth.
I know exactly what match you're talking about.
And actually, even at just the beginning, it was a 2 out of 3 falls match, if I remember correctly, where like the bell rung, the Bar ran through the Hardys, easy distraction, instant bro kick. Just like there's a lot of matches from the Hardys, short but fun tag title runs. But I can't really say the same for like the Wyatt Six. I can say like the ladder match that they had at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too.
But that's kind of it. Tag team wrestling kind of loses its steam when someone's constantly demolishing, and that's kind of what the Wyatt Six are up to.
That is true. Joel, do you agree with him? We're going with the Hardys or the Wyatt Six?
I agree 100%. I feel like the Hardys just have more memorable moments. As Enigma said, like the Wyatt Six, you can't really, like, you think of their title reign, you think of that SummerSlam match, but you don't really think of anything else. It has been a rough time in the tag division, but you are right. During that time when the Hardys came back, the tag division was hot. Like a lot of people don't remember that. Like we hadn't had a multi-man tag match at Mania for the belt like that in a minute. So like for them to do that at Mania and have all those strong teams in the ring while the Hardys are coming out, it just showed how strong that tag division was. And then them having their runs and just having fun matches and them coming back having matches with people they never had before, like the Usos, like the Bar, New Day, all these teams. So it was really fun to see. So I gotta go with the Hardys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with all of y'all. It's pretty much a clean sweep of this round. I do love that title match when they won the Raw tag team belts when they returned. It showed that they didn't slow down a single bit. I know Enigma, you said that they just had a match 2 nights prior at Ring of Honor, but like still, it showed that they didn't lose a step after being in the business for so long at that time. The Wyatt Six can't really pinpoint anything besides the SummerSlam match, and that's it. There's the Hardy Boys SmackDown tag title run. The only thing I remember from that was them getting attacked by Lars Sullivan, which is a whole nother day. But like it's they've had, again, bouncing off what Joel said, they had great tag matches with people we've never seen before, and it was a run that, like, again, it was a great time to see the Hardys go, and glad that they were able to go back during a time when the tag team division was hot. So I'm going to agree with both of you and choose the Hardy Boys with that one as well. So they move on to the next round. Next matchup, we have the Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt's Wyatt family going up against Heath Slater and Rhino. Joel, I'm going to go with you with this one. Which tag team title run was your favorites between these two?
I'm gonna go with bias here. I'm going with Heath and Rhino just because when it happened, I was a big fan of that. I was a big fan of something new happening, a team that we hadn't seen that just they put together and it actually worked. Like, it didn't work for a long time, but it worked for when they needed it. I believe they were the first SmackDown Tag Champs, right? If
Yeah,
I'm
I think
correct.
they were.
Which
Yes.
was so random. He has so many teams that were built already, and he decided just to put 2 guys together. And yeah, it was memorable because it just reminds me of that like time period in SmackDown where it was one of those things that it was like this was the place of opportunity. Heath and Rhino, so it was something that was really cool and it stuck in my head. So just for that, I'm gonna give it to Heath and Rhino. I do love the Wyatt family, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Heath and Rhino, just biasy. I gotta go with them.
Yeah, that's fair. Enigma, do you agree with him, or are you going to go with the Wyatt family in this round over here?
So I think from a pure story alone, I would say Heath and Rhino, but I'm gonna go with the Wyatt family because they had won the tag titles during a time where me and Smooth we talk about it all the time. We call this the rock paper scissors era of tag team wrestling, where if the Usos won the tag titles, the New Day is going to win it. If the New Days have the tag titles, the Bar is going to win it. If the Bars have it, the Usos are going to win it. So like rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
When the Wyatt family won the tag titles, it put a stop to that. It wasn't just, this certain tag team was going to beat them. You constantly had to watch a Wyatt family tag match and wonder, who is going to beat them? And I do like that was a form of dominance that really impacted the tag team division.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm going to agree with you, Enigma. I'm also going to go with the Wyatt family.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that
crazy.
either. Now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense in a way. But I'm choosing the Wyatt family because I was looking at more of Rowan and Harper being the tag team because they were the tag team of that group for a while, and they also had won the NXT tag team championships, which I think that was a short reign, but they were proven to be like, the 2 big guys, the 2 new big guys that are going to dominate. I think they also won the tag titles as the Bludgeon Brothers away from the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I don't know if you would count that as part of the Wyatt family, even though they were together still.
I would.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. But but that story with Orton too, that Orton part, great story. Always had a lot of story into
Randy
it.
is an underrated tag champion in my eyes.
He is.
Yeah.
He works with a lot of people. He works well with a lot of people. Even though that story, that Mania match, a whole different discussion for a different day.
Yeah.
And it was a short reign, but it worked for that story. Like, that was a great storytelling leading to that Mania. And I loved it. Heath and Rhino, I get your points, Joel. I love it too, because it was also random. To be like, oh, these 2 work, and I was like, they're working well. People were behind them. He had kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it was a great story to tell. Damn, if it was a tough decision, but the Wyatt family, I looked at it more of Harper and Rowan for most of it, to be like, no one was stopping them during that time. Even though they didn't really win a lot of tag titles, they should have.
They should have way more under their belt than
they should be like a 5-time plus tag team champions.
Yeah, because they were both like, what, 6'8", and that would, besides like Big Show and Kane and Brothers of Destruction, you don't really see like that tall of a tag team. anymore.
Starting to realize that if you were like a powerhouse tag team, you never really had like a long dominant run that you should.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
surprising.
Because no one was being Big Show and Kane. That was like, holy shit. No one was taking
No one's
those
gonna
two down.
beat Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's why they don't put a lot of people to tag team titles or titles in general to big people, because it wouldn't be
Right.
realistic to beat them. Even though it's a scripted show, could
Right.
just write it in. If it were like an actual like MMA or boxing, okay, like
Yeah, I understand
that's
that one.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but this is like you could easily have someone lose
You can make it
writing it.
believable.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I saw it too. I mean, I love Keith and Rhino, but it was good for the moment, and then after that, I was like, all right, they're just there, you know.
Yeah.
Keith and Rhino was just there. Love that duo too, but Wyatt family, no one was stopping them during that time. But yeah, next matchup on the bracket is the Bar. Their title runs going against the Shield and their title run when they first got to the main roster. I'm gonna get this one off. I'm gonna go with the Bar in this one. I love they were a multi-type tag team. I didn't remember like them winning like 5 or 6 titles.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they won that much. But they were also a duo that like I don't they had the chemistry like outside of the TV screen. But like I didn't think that the whole story of like the 7-match series and then they have to go for the tag titles. That was a great story leading to them becoming a team. The whole story of Cesaro turning heel and like aligning with Sheamus, and they had insane chemistry. Like that duo was insane and it worked. You know, quoting Sheamus, they put on banger and banger and banger of a match every single time they went up against somebody. That match that they had, you mentioned this earlier against the Hardys. I think that moment where I see a lot on Twitter where it was Cesaro running around hitting the club with the uppercuts, running around the ring. That I see all the time, but it's like those moments that they created, their theme song, their matching attire, their tag team title runs. They would to be able to win that many. I'm gonna go with that. I love the Shield. Their Shield, their first technically their only tag title run. It was a dominant run, but it made them who they are. They made a stamp in the business. But again, the Bar was just a great duo. I love them. So I'm gonna go with the Bar. Enigma, who do you have, the Bar or the Shield?
I'm gonna say the Bar because of everything you said, and on top of that, it wasn't like both of them were heels or faces at the same time. Like we had Sheamus as heel, Cesaro as face, so they had that duality in the beginning, and then just like in almost all the moments, you're gonna remember something.
Yeah.
One of my personal memories from like the Bar is when they won the tag titles for the first time. Exactly how Sheamus tries to go for a tag. Cesaro pulls his hand back, and then Kofi hits Sheamus' Trouble in Paradise, and then Cesaro perfectly tackles him into a pin. Like that was an amazing fake out.
Yeah.
That's Cesaro as a face, and then like you said, Cesaro with like the hot tags, like uppercutting everyone. Like again, that is all Cesaro as a face. And one of my favorite matches involving the Bar is the Bar versus Aleister Black, Ricochet versus Shinsuke and Rusev. I don't know if there was another tag team in there at WrestleMania.
I think it was the Usos were in that match too.
Yes, the Usos. Thank you for SmackDown tag titles. To me, MVPs of that tag match were the Bar and Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that I can go from a match like that and I look back and go, oh yeah, these guys are like heel face. Then they're both heels. And then it's not like they're like the basic heels, gouting eyes, holding tights, feet on the rope, like things like that. For the most part, they were just like there to beat the
fighting champions. Yeah.
And then the Shield, unfortunately, how do I say this? They don't really have that much of a dominant run past Seth and Roman. So no matter what iteration you're looking at, whether it's Seth and Roman or Seth and Dean, I think like Seth and Dean like all together probably defend the belts maybe 2 times, 3 times.
Yeah, then Ambrose turned heel as champion, and
it was really confusing. But don't get me wrong, one of my favorite matches from Ambrose, Rollins and and Roman was them versus the Usos on Money in the Bank pre-show, which still crazy to say that Shield pre-showed at one point. Like that's one of my favorite matches, but the Bar just have such duality when it comes to the tag team title reigns. And again, if you just look at from what I was talking about, like the whole rock paper scissors thing, they were beating these high profile tag teams like the New Day, like the Usos, like the Hardys.
Yeah, Rybacksel, I think too. I remember that tag team.
Yeah, Rybacksel's a throwback.
Yeah, that is a tag team people forget about, but for reasons. But yeah, I agree. Joel, do you also say the Bar? Or are you going with?
Yeah, it's a sweep. The Bar, everything you guys said, I agree with 100%. And they were just so fun when they were on TV. It was like you knew the match was gonna be great when you saw the Bar was gonna have a tag match. Like it was just something you looked forward to on the card. So you gotta go with the Bar. The Shield had their runs. It was cool. Of course, the first one with Seth and Roman is the one that a lot of people talk about and think about. And then the big win with Goldust and Cody. But yeah, the Bar was just levels above in the tag division.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the Bar, they're underrated tag team, man. I wish they stayed around a little bit longer. But stuff happens, I guess. But yeah, the Bar move on to the next round. Next matchup, we have Ziggler and Root, or the Dirty Dogs, go up against the Revival and their tag team title runs. Enigma, which tag team champions did you prefer watching and why?
Damn, this one's tough because they get the belts. Like both tag teams get the belts during the time where like tag team wrestling wasn't as prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still gonna go with the Revival because if the main roster didn't show the love that these two had for tag team wrestling, NXT for sure did. Whether you're looking at the Revival versus American Alpha or the Revival versus DIY, the Revival versus Sanity, all of these matches really showed like, hey, these guys really love tag team wrestling. While Rude and Ziggler kind of won the belts, and it was just a prop, sadly.
Yeah, that is true. I'm going to agree with you. I was going to say the same thing. I'm also going to go with the Revival. I feel like they were appreciated much in NXT, having great matches. American Alpha, DIY, Sanity, like you said, great matches. That tag team era was a lot different when they got to the main roster. But Ziggler and Roode on the other hand was just, I feel like was just there. Like they had great chemistry as a heel tag team, but it was just they were just there to put over people. I feel like, and that was it. They weren't in like major storylines or like doing much. They're just
what sucks is Roode is a giant tag team specialist.
Yeah, which made it work. I mean, I feel like that's why it works. Both of these guys are like, even though Ziggler wasn't really in a tag team, I guess the Spirit Squad, if you count that one.
Spirit Squad, McIntyre.
Yeah, but he wasn't like, but still, it's great chemistry that they had. These two had. I guess they were both veterans of the game, so they understood how to work together. But again, I just feel like they were just veterans trying to put people over at that time during the late into their careers. I think that was the last thing that Bobby Roode did before he retired. The Revival had great. I just think of their tag team reigns in WWE during NXT, even though they won a couple main roster tag titles, but their NXT run was insane, man. They had a lot of great matches. I wish I were there for some of the takeovers they were a part of, because I would love to have been during that American Alpha one. Were you, Joel? That was a Brooklyn one, right? Were you there during that one, or is that?
Yeah, that was NXT Brooklyn.
No, that was Dallas, American Alpha.
Dallas, yes.
Revival.
Yeah. Wait, so what was Brooklyn?
DIY? Was that DIY?
Brooklyn.
DIY?
No, DIY was Canada.
Yeah. What was Brooklyn? Hold on, now I gotta look this up.
Hold on. I think now Brooklyn. I'm trying to think of the card.
Me too. Like, I don't know what.
Did they ever face Enzo and Cass?
Oh yeah, Did they face DIY again? DIY again. I think it was the first one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Got you. Okay.
They faced them twice. One of them was at Brooklyn. The other one was in Canada.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, and that was when, because they had 2 tag title runs, I think, right? They had the 2 tag title runs in NXT. So,
Rival, they were so sick.
They were.
Well, they're
still
insane. Sick. They're still sick. Like,
yeah, they still are. Yeah, Joel, do you agree with us? Do you going with Rival? Or...
Black and gold, baby. Black and gold. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
I
that
love
is
Bobby Roode and Ziggler, but Black and Gold takes it home.
yeah. I mean, the rivalry, this again, like you said, they still are insane. They still are going
But
at it.
that NXT run, wow. Like,
Legendary.
especially that no one was caring about tag team wrestling at that point.
They had a great tag division during that time. The Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass, DIY, so
Mhm.
many more. It was like, geez, AOP getting started during that time as well.
Yeah.
So it was just so much happening, and like, none of those tag teams really stuck around in the main roster.
No,
I
they
love
were
Um,
lined up to make the main roster go on fire, and
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
yeah, water was thrown on them when they got to the main roster.
It's
Yeah,
like, you guys are getting a little too hot. Let's just cool you down.
Yeah.
yeah, literally.
They were like, "Oh, the writing team didn't do this. All right, let's take it easy. Let's take a
Yeah.
step back, okay?"
Did we create this? No, let's just do our own thing.
Yeah, let's kill it.
Yeah. Oh, guys, like I think of that thing that the Revival leaked after they left WWE, was like they were wearing those fucking clown looking things. Like that was something they had pitched after they got called up. Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh
Like,
God, I would be pissed if I was the Revival. To like, how
yeah,
much I love tag team wrestling, and you do this,
you trying to embarrass us? Like, come on, that's nuts. That is
Yeah,
insane.
for all that,
and it
just don't
was
call us up.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
They would have benefited in imagine them as an undisputed era during that
Oh,
time. I don't
dude,
think we ever got that.
yeah, we did. The Revival
We did?
versus
Yeah,
the Era
That
was
was right when they got called up.
awesome.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
right when they got before they got called up. But yeah, that would have been insane too. What other tag teams were the Street them versus Street Profits we got in the main roster?
The Street Profits were better on main roster than NXT.
That
Yeah,
NXT, yeah,
'cause they had a quick NXT run. They had a quick NXT run. It was like I felt like I saw them debut, and the next moment they're on the main roster. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they were on Raw.
yeah, because they were on Raw as NXT Tag Champs. I remember that.
Yeah, that
They
was
were
weird.
holding,
But they
yeah.
debuted like what during the pandemic, right?
I think right before. I think it was like right before it
Ah.
happened. Yeah, because yeah, they lost. Yeah, because they were I think it was right before.
Yeah, because
But
I remember Montez doing like a dive, like screaming WrestleMania, and just like you hear him just like crash on the
oh
floor.
yeah, he fell right
Yes.
on his back. Oh god,
yes,
God,
that hurts me thinking about that. No one
yeah.
even caught him. It was like, yeah, you're just gonna hit the floor.
like he just went
Yeah.
straight down.
Yeah, and there was no crowd there too. Made it funnier. It was like, what? This all you heard was him landing behind his back. Oh, that must have hurt him like crazy. But shout out to Montez. He's taking bumps like that. It's crazy. But yeah. Anyways, the Revival swept that one down to the next round. Next matchup, we have the New Day going against the Viking Raiders. Joel, which tag team do you think
It's
was
the New
better?
Day. It's the New Day. You don't even gotta finish the sentence. It's the New Day. You want me to
Yeah,
plead a case, or can I just say the
I
New
mean,
Day?
you can plead as much as you
The
want.
New
man.
Day is fucking ridiculous. They're probably one of them and the Usos are the two most successful tag teams in WWE in the last 20 years, probably. Just with what they did from what they had and what we thought they were gonna be to what they became was two different things. Um, and then all the classic moments, and not only in matches but promos, and them not them having comedy but not relying on it. They just had a lot of stuff that made them stand out. And yeah, it's New Day.
Enigma, do you agree with him, or are you going with the Viking Raiders?
I'm gonna go with Viking Raiders War Rating Experience, whatever the hell they're called.
So many names.
So many names, because going from NXT, and especially as a guy that watched the Viking Raiders prior to WWE NXT, I saw these two heavy hitters go from ROH New Japan to NXT, and they didn't lose that dominance, that heavy hitting style. Like we talked about, like it's got to be believable to beat like a Kane and Big Show, so they're gonna have a short run. The Viking Raiders were just as dominant as like these big name powerhouse tag teams, and they did have long tag team title runs. If memory serves right, they got called up undefeated as tag team champions.
I believe so. Yeah.
And the amount of tag teams that they fought, whether it was AOP or Aleister Black and Ricochet or the Undisputed Era, which is my personal favorite ones. And then on the main roster, I'll chalk it up to shit booking. But they did have some pretty cool matches, like against the New Day, like against FTR, like against DIY. Like think they faced the Bar.
Maybe
If
that
they
doesn't.
didn't, it's a missed opportunity. But
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
they never had to change their style, their presentation. Honestly, the only thing they really had to change was just their names.
pretty much. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, literally, there's the same thing, the same theme song that they brought back too from NXT.
Yep.
But yeah, that is true. That is true. Um, but if I'm gonna pick one, I think for me, I love both these tag teams. These two tag teams are amazing, and you guys both put great cases on which one is better than the other in tag titles. But you got to go with the 10 plus tag team title, winners in the New Day here. I feel like the New Day, again, like you said, Joel, three people technically that pretty much weren't doing much at that time to making it a successful thing when no one thought that it was going to work out. Like when those segments were pretty much happening, to those vignettes, to the choir happening, like,
Yeah.
you would not think that they were becoming they would win at least 10 tag team titles. You would not expect that. Neither did I. I thought that was like one of the worst things I've seen on TV, but it worked. It connected easily because of their connection. They were able to win 10 plus tag title reigns because of that. Their feud with the Usos, the feud, tag team feud, one of the best tag team feuds of the 21st century, to be honest with you. Their chemistry in the ring with each other, and to be able to say, hey, yeah, we're gonna put the strap on these guys, these silly guys, these great entertaining guys, 10 plus times. There's a reason why they were given those opportunities. I'm not saying that the Viking Raiders or any other tag team wouldn't, but like, come on, they had mania moments, not in the ring. To be able to have the Bootios coming out that box, getting hit with every finisher by Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold. Their match against, I think they had a match against the Nation, that
League of Nations.
League of Nations. Yes, yeah,
Shout out the League of Nations, man.
yeah.
What a throwback.
I
That
liked
was
them. I just didn't like that they kept getting faced. They kept facing Roman. Could have been down.
yeah.
It was a cool idea. They could have had something there, but
They had it there. Yeah, exactly. But they made them as jobbers. They were literally getting beat, like you said, against Roman, against everybody. They got stunned. They all got stunned by Stone Cold. You know what I mean, at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it's like it's hilarious. But the New Day, man, they're Hall of Famers, and they're still going strong to this day. Unfortunately, Big E had to hang it up. But no matter the duo, they could have put any of the two together, and it worked. They put a great match on. So it was amazing to see, and it's still cool to see them go. I mean, the heel turn last year also, or 2 years ago, was also something to have a conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
But their chemistry worked, and they were able to win a lot of tag titles with that. And then they're doing amazing. The Viking Raiders, I love them. Could have been booked better if Triple H maybe were in charge of the main roster when they were getting called up. Maybe they still would be called the War Machine or War Raiders.
Or Viking Experience.
Oh yeah, the Viking experience. Oh my god! And they were sponsored by that video game Clash Royale last year.
Yes.
Yeah, Mania. But I don't know. They could. They again. I agree with you what you said, Enigma. They still have it. They're still the same tag teams. I wish they could be booked stronger
Yeah.
than
I mean,
what
they
they
just got beat up by Obafemi. So
yeah.
Let's put that behind us. All right. Let's put that behind us.
Let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because that
if
was
Triple
tough.
H that happens again, I might drive over to Orlando and we gotta have a conversation.
Gonna have
Yeah.
to-
So it's but anyways, the New Day, they're them. You know what I mean? They are the tag team to be, and them and the Usos are the tag teams of to try to like top. So shout out to the New Day, they're awesome. Next matchup we do have DIY going up against the Street Profits. They both are multiple time tag team titles winners. I'm gonna start this one off. I'm gonna go with the Street Profits with this one. You know, DIY, similar to what I'm saying with the Revival, it's just their NXT run was what stands out to me. But once they reunite on the main roster, it was like, okay, cool, they're together, but it didn't feel the same. I didn't see DIY from 10 years ago. You know? Like it didn't hit me the same. I feel like I was watching a completely new tag team that were given the same name. Not saying that they were losing touch as a tag team or wrestling. It was just they felt like they were being treated as a, like, how do I say it? Like, not serious in a way, you know? So it felt
Definitely. Yeah.
lackluster to watch them. Maybe that's why Tommaso Ciampa left. We don't know. Um, but it didn't feel the same. Street Profits, even though we don't see them on TV as much anymore, they never lost their touch. You know, they still looked at as a top tag team, even though they're not really competing often. Um, they should be given more tag team title opportunities, which is criminal, to say. But they they never lost it. They kind of like the Viking Raiders. They never lost touch. They were the same character and same everything since the beginning of NXT. They just progressed because they're so entertaining. You know,
Yeah.
that's why they're still around. That's why they're still together. Um, so I'm gonna go with the Street Profits on that one because it was just great to see them, you know, together and a whole different conversation again with Montez Ford going by himself. But um, yeah, it's just they're still going strong. Hopefully, they win more tag titles. But I'm gonna go with the Street Profits. Joel, do you agree? You're gonna go with DIY.
Oof. I want to go with DIY so bad, but what kills it for me is the main roster run. And like, I know we're just talking about when they were holding the championships and stuff, but the Street Profits, I'm a big fan of. I'm mad that they haven't been more like they should have more championships under their waist. They're another team like that they shouldn't. How many have they won so far?
So in the main roster, they've won 3
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's
won one time NXT tag champ.
yeah. The one time NXT, but that's also because they were there for they were there in a blink of an eye for
Yeah,
NXT. I feel like you said earlier, it felt like they were there and then they got called up, and it makes sense because they were popular. People loved them.
yeah,
They kept their thing going on the main roster. People still love them. They put on great matches. When they hold titles, it's actually important. People care about it. DIY did their thing. The black and gold was amazing. But being on the main roster and what they've been doing the last couple years is just it's tough to put them in the same conversation as the Street Profits at this moment. So I gotta go with the Street Profits.
okay. Enigma, do you agree? Or you gonna go with DIY?
I gotta go with Street Profits just because I'm pretty sure by this point DIY have like chomping are gonna spend more time as singles wrestler rather than tag teams.
Mm.
So right there, it's less moments than the Street Profits, less tag team chances than the Street Profits.
Yeah.
And although I know there's so many people, myself included, are clamoring and begging for a Montez singles run. Every day we don't get that, we get a Street Profits banger. With DIY, although they were putting on like these great matches, like again, how can we forget?
Yeah,
With Revival, how can we forget with American Alpha?
Yeah.
Even on like the main roster when they were NXT and North American champion, I enjoyed their match with the Bar. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
I totally
they
forgot that
they
happened.
when they teamed up for the Dusty Rhodes Classic, even brought back the DIY theme song, and first round was Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Loved it, but while we were having that kind of stuff, we were also getting stuff like Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Matthews, I believe.
Yep.
And we were also getting like the Street Profits versus the Usos in Madison Square Garden for the tag titles, and like just so many other matches that the Street Profits just kept accelerating at to the point where if they aren't top 5 in WWE like current era, the Street Profits are probably like number 6 or 7.
Hmm. Yeah,
I agree with that 1,000%. You're right on
yeah.
that.
They had big moments. They had big moments as champions, big opportunities, and big storylines in the main roster. Again, Montez going by himself is another conversation for a different day, but they work, man. They have that chemistry as a tag team, and no wonder why they're still together. You know, it's one of those cases where it's hard. Do you send Montez by himself, or you keep them together and keep elevating the tag division and them too as a tag team? But they've made it work, man. They've made it
Yeah.
work. So shout out to that. But yeah, next matchup in the first round, we have the Undisputed Era going up against RK Bro. Joel, I want to start with you in this one. Who do you think would better tag team champions?
I'm gonna go Undisputed Era. I feel like maybe that's biased just because I'm a big black and gold guy, but also it was just so memorable for me. I think back at moments with them and different iterations of when Bobby Fish decided to be made out of glass and stuff. So it was cool, but RK Bro did have cool moments, had a good run, but I just feel like the Undisputed Era is just like it's cemented in WWE history. Even though all those guys are gone now, people still talk about Undisputed Era. They talk about that run when they were all champions. And the matches that they had, and then also when they had the matches against the UK guys when they went on that side and
Mustache
killing
Mountain.
it. What's up?
Mustache Mountain.
Yes.
Yes.
It was ridiculous the matches that they were having and putting on great matches. Like they're kind of in the same category as like Street Profits. I never walked away and was like, I hated that match or that wasn't such a good match.
Yeah.
Like Undisputed Era, there's certain tag teams, Revival, Street Profits, Undisputed Era that you never walk away saying, oh, I saw a bad match. And yeah, their run was ridiculous. So I gotta go Undisputed Era.
Good one. Enigma, do you agree with him, or are you going to go with RK Bro?
I gotta agree with them because from the moment they debuted, from the moment Red Dragon or Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly all debuted together, this was a faction that was on a mission. But when it came to O'Reilly and Fish as a tag team, they were definitely going to clean house.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, Bobby Fish was made out of glass, and you would think that Adam Cole not being a tag team guy, and this is only a one and done thing. Him being a tag team guy, him and O'Reilly are actually is a former tag team. Their former PWG name is called Future Shock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great tag team. That's short lived because Roderick Strong joined.
Yeah, that same night.
And like Joel said, Mustache Mountain or the Revival, or I'm pretty sure they face DIY.
Yeah.
They face Sanity. Like as tag team challengers or champions, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, or Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong were just cleaning house. And when it comes to like who's one of the best tag teams in NXT history, a lot of people are gonna say the Revival. A lot of people are gonna say DIY. A lot of people are gonna say even the Lucha Dragons. But if you say definitive number one, there is no second place. It's going to be O'Reilly and Roderick, or O'Reilly and Fish.
Yeah.
Like they might just be the greatest tag team in NXT right now. I mean, ever.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with both of you. I'm also going to say Undisputed Era. They had that tag team, not just the tag team division, but NXT in a chokehold.
We didn't even have to mention the War Games.
Yeah, that too. To add on to that, yeah. So like it's they were featured everywhere. Like like no matter, same thing what I was saying with the New Day. No matter which duo, it could have been Roderick and O'Reilly, Fish and O'Reilly, Adam Cole and O'Reilly. Shout out to O'Reilly because he was like the staple in the tag team title division.
Yeah.
Too. So like no matter who you put him with in that within those four, they were killing it. They were doing everything. They were 4-time tag team champions in NXT. There was a reason why they were given so many titles, because they were unstoppable. They were before that took over. No pun intended, but like they were killing it. No one was able to stop them. And no matter which tag, they were undisputed. It's exactly. Yeah. So no matter which tag team they put up against, and you guys named them all, including Imperium.
I was gonna say Imperium was that's one of my favorite matches.
Yeah,
that's one of mine too.
Yeah. So like it was they were killing it, and they could have faced 2 broomsticks, and they were putting on a 5-star classic. It was like they're 2 of those guys that were like who like, again, there was a reason why they were able to win 4 tag team titles, because they were so successful together. And 4 guys that knew each other well from before NXT till that had the chemistry, that knew each other like the back of their hands. And to be able to stamp that dominance on a brand to where people still talk about them 6 years later and they're in a different company now, that's nuts. Um, so it's you can't beat the Arcade Bro. I love them. It sucks that Matt Riddle had to get released and we couldn't really finish that story. But that had like creatively a great a story and a great run as a like what was gonna happen if Riddle stayed around a little bit longer? Would we have seen that match happen down the road? We don't know. We will never
I think
know
from an
because
entertainment factor, Arcade Bro has it.
yeah,
But in terms of match quality itself, I'm not going against Undisputed Era.
yeah, any match you put them up against, it was always a great match. Always a talk of the night and on a takeover. So
Especially over.
Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch also a tag team that had a great match against. I was like, holy shit, they're putting match of the night against any tag team and they're killing it. So the Undisputed Era is undisputed, so I'm gonna go with them. It's insane. But yeah, they're moving on to the next round. Last matchup in the first round, we have the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson going up against the Usos. Which tag team titles were better? Enigma, we're going to start with you. Which one did you feel like had a better tag team title runs between these two?
I gotta go with the Usos, man. Gallows and Anderson unfortunately win these tag titles during the era when no one cares about tag team wrestling. But the Usos, whether we're going to talk about Usos with the face paint or Usos just wearing all black or where they're at right now, the Usos were evolving along with the tag titles. And the matches, they speak for themselves, not just talking about, the New Day in the bar, but also, the Revival, the Hardys. I was going to say the Fatal 4 tag match I said previously.
Yeah.
Just all the matches that these guys have had I remember they won the tag titles off the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a match. No. Yeah. That's a tag team no one would ever say or think of. Like, oh shit, they did face them. Yeah, that's so true.
Like, it's crazy. Like, when we talk about big wins, the Usos beat the New Age Outlaws for the tag titles. That's somewhere big in the history books.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. But yeah, good one. Joel, do you agree you're gonna go with the Good Brothers?
I love the Good Brothers, but it's the Usos. I mean, like Enigma say, you could pick any era. You could pick the face paint, the Uso penitentiary. You could pick anything. The bloodline, like they have always kept up. They've never lost a step. They've been them guys, putting on banger after banger. There's a lot of matches you could go through the list. You could go. My favorite, of course, are the matches with the New Day, like the Hell in a Cell. When I believe they tried forgot what year they tried the tag elimination chamber. Like it was cool that during that era when
was 21 or 22.
No, there was one that happened a couple years prior.
I want to say it was 17.
Because remember, Kalisto jumped off the top. Yeah.
No, it was either Kalisto or Lindsay Dorado that did like a shooting star off the chamber.
No, the Sin Cara, when we teamed with Sin Cara too. There was one that happened.
Oh, wait, what about the TLC match featuring the Usos, the Lucha Bros? Not Lucha Bros,
oh my god, that moment off the ladder. Yes.
Yeah, they've had so many matches, man, so many bangers, and yeah, the Usos are them guys. You gotta give it to them.
Yeah, I'll even say from the very beginning, I actually enjoy the Usos versus the Hart Dynasty.
Oh, that was an underrated feud. Jesus, that put them on the map. That really solidified them. Like, oh, they're going to be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys, I'm going to agree with both of you. I'm going with the Usos, and you guys pretty much did it all. I mean, they're one of the best tag teams till this modern era. In general, not just in WWE. You have similar to what I said with the New Day. Their feud amazing. Nothing could top that rivalry between these two. And there's a reason why they're given so many tag team title opportunities because they're gonna knock it out the park and bring a great tag team title run. I hope. And speak of this current run they're currently having, they're going to be against Alpha Academy, and we got to see how good that match is, see how well they put them over. But they just show up and show out. They always kill it. There's so many matches. We could probably do a whole bracket of which Usos
Oh,
match
of
was
Uso
great.
opponents, yeah.
Yeah,
One
that could
one
be
of my
same with
That was
favorite,
actually
AEW.
fire.
one of my favorite is when Tyson Kidd and Cesaro had that little
Oh,
mini
yeah.
feud with them. I
Dude,
loved
I
them as a
forgot
tag
about
team, and their matches with the
yo.
Usos were ridiculous.
That
Usos
could have
versus Miz and Mizdow.
yes,
Yup.
yes. Like Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, another I was thinking about putting them on this list too because underrated tag team. Again,
Yeah.
another conversation for a different day.
Groove loves Tyson Kidd, so he
Yeah,
would definitely
Yeah.
would have like had his 2 cents on this.
exactly. But the Usos are again, they have the talent and they're amazing. And people always bring up like what dream match they can have with anybody in any company, and just they're just so good, man. They've earned every single title run they've had, put on great matches against any tag team they were put up against, and no matter what stipulation it was, they were showing up and showing out.
I
The Good
think the
Brothers. Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, there's probably like maybe 3 dream matches left for the Usos. Funny enough, 2 out of 3 of them, well,
Are in
actually 4 out of
WWE.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was gonna say. Basically, the dream matches I think that like that's left is Usos versus Motor City Machine Guns, Usos versus Lucha Bros,
Yeah.
Usos versus Gorillas of Destiny, Tamatanga Tangaloa, and maybe in the perfect world, Usos versus Young Bucks.
Yeah.
So 3 out of 4 of those can happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, damn! I wish they could, because that's a dream match for Mania if the Usos are still tag champs. Have Motor City Machine Guns and Lucha Bros and Usos in the triple threat ladder match. Please,
Oh,
if I
man.
were booking that, I would
Oh,
pencil that in
yes.
today, like no question. So that way, like I don't. When was the last time the Motor City Machine Guns and Lucha Bros ever faced off? That was before AEW, obviously, right? Because I think the
I
Motor
can't
City
even
Machine Guns had
remember if
one
they
match.
have faced off.
Exactly. So that's even better if they haven't, because it's like, oh shit, these 3 tag teams never faced off, and now they are, which is wild. Like I want to see that. I hope that happens.
Well, we just found a
Highly doubt it.
WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's too good to be true, probably not happening. But in a perfect world, that would be my dream match for Mania. And I hope someone can listen to this and be like, yo, we got to do that.
No, yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Great match. But yeah, shout out to Usos, man. The Usos are them as well. But second round, we're going to start off with the Hardys and their 2 tag team title runs going against the Wyatt family. Joel, I'm going to start with you with this one. Which tag team title runs would it be? Sorry, man. I got to start with
Damn. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. Damn. I'm gonna go with the Wyatt family just because I love their matches more during their reign. Like I really enjoyed watching them in the ring. The Hardys, I love the Hardys. It was a cool run, but like the Wyatt family and all the like different times that they won it and all the stories that they would try to tell, I feel like that oversees the Hardys. Even though big Hardy fan, but I gotta go with the Wyatt family.
Okay. Enigma, do you agree? You're going to go with the Hardys.
The only saving grace I gotta give the Hardys, and this is kind of have to use a little bit of outside WWE knowledge, is that if you guys were watching TNA around this time, the Hardys were on like this expedition of gold, where they just won tag team title after tag team, no matter the promotion.
Yeah.
And to me, the expedition of gold didn't end until they left WWE. And them winning both SmackDown and Raw tag titles, just if like the Hardys retired 2018, 2019, no doubt Hall of Fame, no doubt greatest tag team of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So although their tag titles was short lived, you have to see what came before that and put it all together in one giant culmination. And you're just gonna go, wow, the Hardys really did all that, and they capped it off here. As for the Wyatt family, though, the dominance speaks for itself. To the point where I was thinking like they were gonna need like a whole other super team to stop Harper and Rowan at one point.
Yeah.
But again, similar to the Brothers of Destruction, the Big Shows and Canes, dominant tag team, short run. Really short run, actually.
Which is crazy now that I think about it. Like they never do have those long runs.
They never, because again, it's the booking of like who's going to stop them. You know, like they try to make it believable to be like who's gonna do it, but they don't do it.
If I remember correctly, I think the New Day beat them in the street fight.
I mean, yeah.
That was the way
But
you
like,
had
if
to
it's not a
do it.
regular tag match, I can at least respect that you needed a stipulation to beat them.
Yeah, they had to go around that regular match and do the stipulation. And it was a smart way to do it.
Yeah, it was. It was. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with both of you. I'm also gonna go with the Wyatt family. The Hardys, they're if you're talking about like 10 years prior, Hardys any day of the week.
Yeah.
But Wyatt, their 2 title runs during that time was cool. The return match was awesome. They were able to face tag teams that we've never seen before. But again, going back to their SmackDown tag title win that they held for like 2 or 3 weeks was pretty much remembered by Lars Sullivan taking them out and writing them off. And the Wyatt family, the duo Harper and Rowan, that was amazing. They were athletic for big dudes.
Do you
They're
also
not
want to
just
count Harper and Randy?
Yeah, I would count that too. Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
That was an awesome tag team.
Yeah,
and that whole story too was really cool how they tied everything.
Yeah, they used the Freebird rule for that, from what I'm remembering, because they were all holding the tag team titles. That was a short run, but they were all holding it. It wasn't like a Bray and Randy thing, even though they won it, but it was a Freebird rule. But that whole run too was like it was on the road to WrestleMania. They were facing each other. It was like a Shawn Michaels Cena thing to where like they won it and they were going to face each other off in a way. But that whole story was amazing, man. I that run was awesome, and shout out to the Bludgeon Brothers too. I mean, that was a cool presentation of the Wyatt family and everything. So I love the Hardys, but the Wyatt family were a dominant tag team to not get past. This next matchup.
Oh shit.
Next matchup, we got the Bar going against the Revival.
This
is tough. I'm gonna set this one off because I want to set the tone here because this is an interesting one.
Okay, Nick. Set the tone.
I'm gonna go with the Bar because they set the bar from what they say. The Revival were awesome, but again, they're as great of matches they've had in NXT for the title defenses. Their main roster run, they won a few tag titles there, but they weren't booked strong there. Because again, they're few of the Usos when they were shaving each other's backs is what comes to mind. That sums up their main roster run. That sums it up. Explains why they left. I mean, they got the release, I think, so I don't think they had a choice to leave. But or maybe the contracts expired. I don't know. I don't remember their situation. But that really comes to mind of the WWE tag team run in the main roster. But they were able to bounce back with obviously being a great tag team following that. In AEW and everywhere else. But the Bar, they stuck together, man. They killed it every single match. I'm pissed off that they split up because I'm like they were both like again fighting each other weekly on a weekly basis to lead up to that them actually winning the tag titles and them coexisting, which no one really thought was gonna work, and it worked. And I loved it. Cesaro was a tag team guy. He could work well with anyone. And he again we mentioned Tyson Kidd. He worked with Shinsuke at one point. There was he put him against and they were a great tag team too. Even now in AEW, put him with Danny Garcia or Yuta or anybody in the Death Riders, and he can make a great tag team with them. That's just who he is. He's a great solo guy and a great tag team guy. So I love their chemistry. Their matches are awesome. Always the highlight of the show. So yeah, I want to go with the Bar. Enigma, I'm going to choose you next to go. Which tag team in the title runs did you find better as champion?
This is tough. From a physical standpoint, it's the Bar. From a tag team perspective, it's the Revival. Because yes, Sheamus and Cesaro kicked ass together as the Bar, but like whenever I watch the Revival, I just tell myself this is a tag team. This is tag team wrestling. This is knowing where your partner is at the right time, at the right place. It just, They were in the era where they didn't care. Well, not they didn't care. WWE didn't care about tag team wrestling. Like, sadly, the black spot in the Revival's WWE career that I remember is them shaving each other's back, and their highlight is teaming with Randy Orton, forming what, rated F, not rated R.
FTRKO.
There we go,
Yeah.
FTRKO. Like that's their highlight, and it sucks. Like right now, like NXT's really gotten them this far, but the bar, no questions asked. Physicality, entertainment, whether it's beating up each other or beating up the other team, they got it.
So you said it was the Revival?
Nah, I'm saying it's
the bar.
The bar. Okay, the
Yeah,
bar.
you said the
Sorry.
bar.
I didn't hear that part. My apologies. So Joel, do you agree, or is it
Yeah,
clean sweep?
it's a sweep.
Ooh.
It's a sweep. Like Enigma said, NXT can only take you so far. You know, like we've made the argument, but the bar is the bar. Like even though Revival, like Enigma said, I agree 1,000%. They are what tag team wrestling is, especially us growing up with the tag teams that we had. We never had like a traditional tag team on WWE television. So them actually having that and being that kind of old school tag team was fun and all. But when they made it to the main roster, they didn't have a lot of moments. It wasn't very memorable. You remember the bad things, you know, and like
Yeah.
that sucks. But the bar, like you said, with everything starting from the beginning and will they work? Does it work? And then them actually like blending very well together that they won multiple champions. They stood tag as a tag team, so it's just something that clicked and worked. And yeah, you gotta go with the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. They were so good. Shout out to the Revival though, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was good. Next matchup we do have the New Day and the Street Profits. Enigma, I'm gonna start off with you with this one. Which tag team did you feel like had better tag team title runs in WWE?
Better tag team title runs. Okay. I'm gonna go the Street Profits. And the only reason I can go with the Street Profits with confidence in this one is Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. If they weren't like defending their titles, they were being showcased some way, somehow, whether it be backstage segments or just doing WWE PR, just chilling in the crowd. And then again, talking about matches now, like they were just putting on bangers, whether it be I remember they faced the Mysterios, they faced the Usos. I'm pretty sure they faced the Bar. Can't remember off the top of my head. But again, Seth Rollins and Buddy Matthews. Andrade Angel Garza.
Yeah.
A
It was
lot
Austin
of tag,
Theory too. Austin Theory
yeah,
and Garza.
there we go, Austin Theory.
Yeah.
A lot of tag teams that like the Street Profits had faced, and some of these guys are new, like new tag teams or makeshift tag teams, and they all just clicked with the with the Street Profits. While with the New Day, as much as I love like their tag team title runs, a lot of them were short lived, like past breaking the record.
Yeah.
And personal issue I always had with it was like, in a lot of their tag team title runs, you kind of just knew like, okay, the Usos are going to be able to take the belts off of them. So that was like my kind of like, I'm enjoying your matches, but I know there's a timer.
Okay. That makes
It was
sense.
like, I don't know who's going to win these off you.
Okay. That makes sense. Joel, do you agree with that, or are you gonna go with the New Day?
gotta go with the Street Profits.
Ooh.
I just think they've had, like Enigma said, I feel like they've had more memorable matches, memorable moments. Like I know New Day has a lot of moments, but a lot of them, if you think about it, they don't have those titles around their waist. It's one of those things that you gotta kind of pinpoint when they were champions. And again, like Enigma said, after the record one, all the rest were like maybe 2 months. They were very short and very forgettable. And again, not a lot of memorable matches during that time. And Street Profits, again, like they're always going off in the ring, and the competition that they had just took them to another level and pushed them to another level. Not saying like the teams that were around when New Day weren't, but just it's two different teams, two different styles, and yeah, Street Profits. I gotta go with them over the New Day.
Okay. Okay. I thought the New Day was gonna get one vote from y'all, but I'm gonna go with the New Day. I mean, the Street Profits would make it to the next round anyways, but the New Day. This was a tough. You guys made good points with the Street Profits. I'm not disagreeing with that. I feel like for me, I couldn't have gotten enough with the New Day. They were so good, so entertaining. Their chemistry was unmatched, and I'm pretty much what I'm bouncing off with the first round is that the New Day were like there's a reason why they were given so many titles. It's because yeah, I know they were like 2 months, a week, etc. Which say like yeah, if you can't win them, you couldn't hold on for that long. But you know, the more you win, I guess like would you rather have more championships or less championships that are longer days? The
You're
fact that we were
right.
able to win so many, it's like I feel like that's also a big win, no matter how long you hold them for. But they also, again, the Usos versus the New Day for the tag titles were a classic. You couldn't get enough of that. One of the biggest rivalries in tag team wrestling during that era. So, yeah, I have to go with that. Again, I'm not disagreeing with the points on the Street Profits. They're amazing, better matches than the New Day, of course.
Yeah.
But I just figured like on the reign of like, oh, you had so many. That's great in itself. So yeah, but either way, Street Profits made it to the next round. Um, that the final round in the second round, we have Undisputed Era and the Usos. Oh, this is tough. Joel, you
I
want to start this
got
one
you.
off?
I got you. Black and gold can only get you so far. It's the Usos.
Mm,
Uh, I feel like we've talked about everything with the Usos from them, different eras, like, and that's a big thing too. Them adapting and changing up when they needed to, when they knew that they were getting stale. That's something also that I I think highly about the Usos. I feel like another person that does that. I always talk about Jericho and adapting to different kind of
yeah,
characters and figuring out when he was getting stale and when to change it. The Usos were the same way. They've been the same way, changing when they need to, not just because they have to. Um, and yeah, like I mean, we said it all before. Like the matches say it for themselves. The way that um they were innovating stuff with like the tag Hell in a Cell, tag Elimination Chamber. They were a big force on that main eventing Mania. I know night one, but still for a tag team to do
yeah,
that for the tag belts at a time that I mean they cared about tag team wrestling, but not to the extent that they should. But of course, because they were in the big storyline, that was the perfect thing to do. But who else could say that? You know what I mean? They're just levels above. So I gotta give it to the Usos. Undisputed Era got so much love for them. They made the black and gold. They one of the greatest tag teams in NXT history. But again, the longevity, like black and gold, can only take you so far.
yeah. That is true. Enigma, are you agreeing with him, or are you going to go Undisputed Era?
I gotta agree with Joel, man. Again, Black and Gold can only get you so far, man.
Yeah,
I don't even think if like you add like the Ring of Honor stuff, like Red Dragon would have had a chance.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the Usos, what hasn't been said already? From like the tag title wins, the runs, the accomplishments, main event WrestleMania, the people they beat. Like
yeah,
it's just New Day, and not New,
Yeah.
it's just Usos.
yeah. That's true. I'm going to agree with both of you. I'm also going to go with the Usos. I feel like when they held it, it's like they made sure they didn't want to lose it. You know, like
Yes,
you you
that's perfect.
Yes.
Yes,
you felt that it's like, oh, we're not losing these titles anytime soon. The new Day was like, okay, they lost it, then they eventually won it back, but the Usos like they were making sure you couldn't beat them,
Yeah.
especially in the Bloodline era. It was like, oh yeah, if you want these, you gotta fucking fight us, you gotta kill us to get these titles off of us, and they
that's a
made
great
sure.
comparison. I was actually thinking as you were saying that when the Usos won the tag titles, you felt them like cling to these for their lives. When the
Yeah,
New Day
Yeah.
won the tag title, that it was like End of the movie. Like, here's the epilogue, the credits. That's it.
Exactly. That is
It's
so
actually
true.
a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the Usos, man. I mean, they have the talent. I mean, the progression of these two from the first day they arrived on scene till now, it's like one of those moments you're like, oh, these guys. Like, if you would have told me back then when they debuted, like these guys are gonna be multi-time tag champions, I'd be like, you're crazy. No shot. I would have said the Hart Foundation, the Hart Dynasty, were probably won more than the Usos, but the fact that they are where they're at right now and won so many and how important they feel they made the tag titles, there's no way. I mean, Undisputed Era, love them. If they were still going as the Undisputed Era to this day, that would have been great to see that matchup. But that's a whole different story for a different day. But the Usos, man, they have it. They have every single drive to want to win more and keep them.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Usos. Shout out to the Usos. Next we have the Wyatt family got up against the Bar. Um, oof. I'm gonna, I know my answer, and I don't have much to say with this one. It's gonna be the Bar for me. I mean, I love the Wyatt family, but the Bar just had the better matches overall. The Wyatt family have they went heavy on the character and their presence, so I give that to them. So when they held it, it was like, all right, who's gonna stop these guys? But their NXT tag title run was like not even 2 months. So clearly at the beginning, someone were able to beat them easily. So it wasn't like that overlooked. Um, the Bar they just put on the matches, man. They again every tag team during that year was amazing. They had a great match with everyone. Um, the New Day, the Good Brothers, the Hardys, Enzo and Cass, you name it. It was a great years for them. Great chemistry. So shout out to the Bar. I'm gonna choose them. So who wants to give their opinion next on which one was better?
I'm just gonna say that I agree with you. I think from a character base, the Wyatt family really did the best that they could, and they excelled at the character. Now, if we're going pound for pound in match, the bar has got it. Like you said, they faced all these tag teams, and they were facing established tag teams.
Yeah,
The Good Brothers, the Hardys, Enzo and Cass, the New Day, the Usos, FTR, all just a whole bunch of established tag teams. From beginning to end, we do have to remember that the Bar is a makeshift tag team.
yeah,
Yes.
So it's not going to go into like the history books of like the Usos, the Hardys, the Young Bucks. Um, Even going a little further back, Paul London, Brian Kendrick,
Yeah.
like that. And we're not going to look at that. We're going to look at makeshift tag teams, and we're going to be like, oh, like the Shinsuke's and Cesaro's, the Rusevs and Shinsuke's, the AJ Styles and Dragon Lee's, the Bandito and Brody Kings, all like those. That is the list that the Bar belongs to, and they sit on top of that. So the
yeah,
fact that they're this good, and it's not like, oh, these guys are former tag teams prior. Um, Pretty sure that these two winning tag titles made both of them Triple Crown champions.
yeah. But doesn't Sheamus have the IC title one to win still?
Yes.
Um,
Sheamus and Starlight. Sheamus is just missing the IC, and if he ever comes back, Cesaro is just missing a world title.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're close to the Grand Slam. So yeah,
Oh wait, no, Cesaro never won IC. My mistake.
didn't he? I thought Cloud.
No,
Oh, he might have just been US.
just US and tag.
I could have sworn he
Wow.
won. That's a Mandela effect. That's great. I thought he won it. That's wild.
That's
No, you're
Wow.
right.
Now that I think about it,
to be
yeah.
honest.
His US title run was,
Wow.
but yeah, the Bar is just such an iconic tag team when it just comes to the physicality of like, if you really want just like that heavy hitting style in a wrestling, and yeah, you can get that in a singles match, but to get in a tag team match, the Bar were the ones to provide that.
Yeah.
While the Wyatt family were just like, the whole spooky stuff. That's what they could provide.
Yeah. Exactly. Joel, do you agree, or are you gonna choose the Wyatt family?
Yeah, it's the Bar. It's the Bar. And also, like you guys said, adding on, like, it was just fun to see them. Like even Enigma talked about earlier, like the way that they would win matches. They were one of those teams that was like, yo, they might never lose these belts. They might never
Yeah.
lose again, because they would always pull it out when they needed to. Like the match that he was talking about, that Cesaro kind of pulls his hand back and then goes for the quick roll up in and wins the match. Like doing little things like that that you would think a tag team that's been together forever would do. They were a mischief tag team, so it's like
Yeah.
crazy to see them do what
That
they
was
were
on the fly,
doing.
probably.
I
Yeah,
think
which is
look, I don't
insane.
know. I think it was maybe.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's the bar.
ooh, the bar's insane, man. Shout out to the bar. They made it to the
Yeah,
finals.
it's a finals. It's
Um,
crazy.
Street Profits and the Usos. God damn, these two. Who wants to get this one off? Because
I got
this
you.
is
I got you. It's the Usos. It's the Usos.
yeah.
I feel like I've said
Enigma.
everything in the last 2 rounds. It's the Usos.
Yeah, true. Enigma, do you agree with him or are you going to Street Profits?
I'm not gonna lie to you. 2022 and 2023 Usos is what gets my vote. I could give you a fighting chance from 2021 to the debut, but the 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 unified tag title wins, the main event in WrestleManias,
Yeah.
hell, the matches with Street Profits, with the Mysterios, with the Judgment Day. Again,
The list
Usos
goes on.
versus everyone. Like that speaks for itself. But to me, it really said a lot in that 2022-2023 run.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I
Really
agree. I
did.
mean, the Bloodline era was just that's when they really felt it with like I said, the last round. Like they definitely didn't want to lose it. I know they had a motive to not disappoint Roman, but even before that, I was like, yeah, they ain't losing this anytime soon.
The Street
Um,
Profits are amazing foils to the Usos. Like we're just talking like, hey, best tag team matches. This is definitely like up there, but Street Profits tag title runs are good. Just it's a mismatch comparison.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. That is true. We did say
I
everything
mean,
else in the previous rounds too, so it was like the Usos are just the greatest tag team of a generation, man.
yeah, look who they're going up against. You know,
Oh
like
man, the Bar and the Usos, the final two in this bracket. Damn, this is tough, man. This is tough. Oh man. You know what? I'll get this one off just to kick it off.
kick it off, Nick.
I want to go with the Usos, man. I mean, as short-lived as the Bar was, they were great for during that era. They're the tag team division at that time was crazy for the Bar. But we've seen different variations of the Usos against different eras of the tag team division. Everyone from the Hart Dynasty all the way till now. Um, you have the Viking Raiders on Raw, the Alpha Academy, the Creed brothers. You know, even though on Raw it's not the strongest for them, but the variations of different tag teams they can go up against throughout the years, the last 16 years, they've always remained on top. Never had a down moment. They were at the bottom of the tag division. Um, the Bar, same thing with the Bar. They were always on top, but again, they were short lived. As great as a tag team they were, um, I just wish they would have stuck around a little bit longer. Maybe that would have given me a little bit more of an edge with that one. But the Usos are one of the greatest tag teams ever, man. Not just in recent time in general. They can still go and they're not slowing down anytime soon, which is amazing. So, yeah, I want to go with the Usos. Who wants to go next?
All right, I got this one. I got to play devil's advocate. I got to go with the Bar.
Oh,
Ooh.
and why is that? Why is that?
So, looking at how both these teams are formed, we got Brothers versus Makeshift.
Mhm.
And although the Usos didn't ever break up, well, yes, they did. They've only
Yeah,
broken up
yeah,
once. You can definitely see, like, in a lot of their matches, especially like early 2010s, that these guys are not like top of the tag team. Like, this is not the tag team to beat. With the Bar, the moment Mick Foley said you guys are challenging for tag titles, once Cesaro pinned Kofi and you heard 3, you already wondered these two are going to have to beat each other up so the other tag teams have a chance. Because if they get along, we're all screwed. And that's just
yeah.
what happened.
Yep.
Like, that's exactly what happened when it came to the Bar. Because when the Bar started to move like a well-oiled machine, they were taking down tag teams like the Hardys, like End Zone Cast, like the Good Brothers, like the New Day, like the Usos. And it's just that with the Usos, yeah, like we talk about like the Uso Penitentiary and the Bloodline stuff, but that's 2016, 2017, and they've been in the business since 2011, 2012. So
Yeah.
although the Usos have the longevity and the accomplishments, the Bar accomplished similar feats at a much faster pace for me. And the Bar did better work than Brothers.
Yeah. That wow. I didn't even think about that one. Jeez. Yeah, now you got me questioning shit now.
Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah, that is so true. Oh my god. But I'm gonna stand by my pick. I'm still with the Usos. But Joel, you're in the hot seat. We got to the hot seat in the finals.
To be honest, I thought it was gonna be 2-zip. I'm going with the Bar.
Ooh.
The Usos were never a threat. I love the Usos, but every time they're in the match, they are not a threat. They are always beatable. It's not, can this team beat the Usos? It's like, nah, can the Usos hang on to these belts? When it was the Bar, it's, can any team beat the Bar? It was never, can the Bar hold on to these? No. They got too comfortable. People, they blended too well. Like Enigma said, if they get along, it's going to get scary. And that's exactly what happened. They were a big threat in the division. Of course, the Usos, like Enigma said, they got the accolades, they got the title runs, but the Bar, night in, night out, putting on shows, like he said, a better tag team than Brothers, which is insane. Their chemistry was just insane. But yeah, I gotta go with the Bar. It's so dominant. The Usos were never a threat or never a dominant tag team the same way that the Bar was a dominant tag team.
Okay. Wow.
So I gotta go with the Bar, man. That's surprising. Wow. I thought it was gonna be 2-0 Usos.
That Bar, Christ.
We don't just set
the Bar won, baby.
We are the Bar.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they proved it right in this bracket. Jeez,
yes,
who would have thought that? Maybe I thought that's why I chose the Usos. I thought one of y'all would agree with me. I was like, damn, wow.
No, Usos they make sense until when it gets to the later rounds, you gotta start nitpicking stuff.
Yeah, you sold me once you said the Usos didn't feel like a threat. I was like, wait, they never actually have. Like physically, I wasn't scared. Like, oh damn, they're facing the Usos. If anything, I was scared that Roman would come out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's
exactly. It was like, what are they gonna do now to keep these belts? It was never like, who's gonna beat the Usos?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that is true. But
surprising the Bar one, but shout out the Bar, baby.
Shout out the Bar. Shout out the makeshift tag team.
Hell
exactly. Yeah, you could be good friends, singles competitors, and make a great tag team. That's insane. That is insane. But shout out the Bar, then. They are, according to us, the greatest WWE tag team champion from the 2010s and on. Thank you, Enigma, for coming back on to do this show again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure. I love doing this. I had to think long and hard about this. When you texted me, I was like, damn, tag team champions. 2010. that was kind of a dark time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great conversations, great topic, great participants. This is so fun. Where can people find you on social media? Plug your stuff in.
You guys can find myself and my co-host Young Smooth on our wrestling podcast, Talk for Glory. We're currently on a small break. We'll be back for WrestleMania 42.
Nice.
Talk for Glory is on YouTube. So Talk for Glory. It's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys find your podcasts, you find Talk for Glory, where we don't just cover WWE, we cover AEW, we cover New Japan Pro Wrestling, we cover Stardom. My personal socials, you guys can follow my Twitters at Enigma_v4_. You guys can follow my Instagram, Enigma_v4. And you guys can follow my TikTok at Enigma_v4.
Perfect. I'm definitely going to leave everything in the description of the YouTube video so people can follow you and subscribe to you easily there. Again, shout out. Thank you again, Enigma. This was a great time, great conversation. Again, I'm Nick with Joel, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Catch you.